Every time the woman extended her hand, a venomous snake would slither out from her sleeve. She coaxed the boy to eat the candy she held, and in that moment, the boy seemed mesmerized by the serpent, frozen in place. A cough from nearby startled the boy back to his senses. However, when he turned around, the woman had vanished into thin air. Terrified, he immediately took off running. Back home, the boy recounted what had just transpired to his grandmother. Upon hearing the story, a chill ran down Grandma's spine. She was convinced the woman was a fearsome witch because she had personally experienced something similar in her own childhood. When Grandma was young, a good friend of hers had accepted candy from a strange woman. The next morning, the friend suddenly discovered his face had become very odd. He then involuntarily started pecking at the table, and before long, he had completely transformed into a chicken. Now, her own grandson had been targeted by a witch. To prevent tragedy from striking again, she immediately started packing, preparing to leave. They arrived at a luxurious hotel in the city. As soon as the grandmother and grandson entered the elevator, a group of elegantly dressed, noble, and refined ladies followed in perfect unison. The concierge greeted them. The woman at the head of the group carried a black cat and was clearly a formidable character. They all shared a common trait. Each person had long scars on either side of their mouth. Despite the hot weather, they still wore hats and long gloves. Therefore, it could be determined that this group of women were the dreaded witches. When night fell, a thunderstorm suddenly erupted with flashes of lightning and heavy rain. Grandma and the boy prepared for bed, unaware that at this very moment, a black cat was monitoring their every move from outside the window. The next day, the boy wanted to find a secluded place to train his pet. When he reached the door of the hotel's banquet hall, he encountered Tommy, a boy his age. Tommy told him a strange woman had instructed him to wait here at 12:25, promising him 6 pieces of chocolate. Soon, Tommy's mother arrived, pinching his ear and leading him away. The boy entered the banquet hall, relieved to have found a good spot. Just as he was about to start training his pet, all the lights in the hall suddenly turned on. The startled boy quickly hid under the podium. Immediately after, the group of witches strode in imperiously. It turned out they were holding a witch gathering here. The doors were then sealed shut. At the command of the head witch, everyone shed their disguises. They removed their gloves, revealing they had only 3 fingers. They took off their shoes, exposing even more bizarre toes. When they removed their wigs, they were actually all bald. Witnessing this scene, the little boy didn't dare make a sound. The reason these witches had gathered here was to plot the disappearance of all the children in the world. They despised children. The mere sight of them drove the witches mad. Suddenly, a young witch in the audience raised a doubt, believing this task was utterly impossible to accomplish. However, before she could finish speaking, the enraged head witch shot 2 blue laser beams from her eyes, instantly turning the young witch into a pile of black powder. The head witch then produced a vial of purple potion, claiming it was a rat transformation potion concocted with magic water. By adding just a bit to candy, any child who ate it would immediately turn into a rat. This way, they could make all the children vanish. Moreover, less than an hour ago, she had already given Tommy a piece of chocolate laced with the potion and tricked him into meeting her here at 12:25. In a moment, they would witness the miracle firsthand. After hearing the leader's grand plan, thunderous applause erupted from the audience. But just then, the head witch suddenly sensed the presence of a child.